It's Wednesday, January 22, and this is your Barbados Today Evening News Update. Barbados health officials are stepping up surveillance for the coronavirus, which has so far killed 17 people in China. Today, Health Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic disclosed that all relevant stakeholders have been mobilized to ensure that every precautionary measure is in place.
Having recognized over the weekend that there was an increase in the number of cases reported by the government of China and deaths as well, and now the one case in the United States, I had some discussions over the weekend with the chief medical officer, and so as a result of that, and he was supposed to have been here, but he's not here because he's actually chairing a meeting at the moment with all of the persons who are responsible for dealing with this issue so that they can analyze the situation and determine what course of action that we are going to take as a country.
The U.S. has confirmed its first case of the virus that is also present in Japan, Thailand, and South Korea. Minister Boswick made it clear there is no need for Barbadians to panic.
At the moment, that first of all, there's no need to panic. We haven't received any instruction or any alerts from the World Health Organization or the Pan American Health Organization, but because we have been monitoring and we do not necessarily wait on others to tell us what to do, we have started some discussions and some preparations to see if we have to respond, how that response will look like, what it would look like. That is what is happening at the moment.
In other news, with the island already recording 2 murders at the start of this year, Senator Kevin Boyce is urging the Mia Mottley administration to swiftly act to arrest crime. The independent senator made the plea on Wednesday when the upper house resumed after the Christmas break and started debate on the Offences Against the Person Amendment Bill 2019. Boyce said, like many Barbadians, he was very concerned about crime, especially gun violence.
As Barbadians, the situation is becoming increasingly untenable, and I believe it's fair to say that the public will support the government in whatever initiative the government believes necessary to wrestle the situation to the ground. That being said, I do recognize the hypocrisy of the position, sir, that when we have situations like Sheraton and St. Albans, that they become the topic of national discourse, but the fact is we've had certain communities in this island which have had to deal with this for a number of years. And there was no noise. There was no noise. But as we all begin to feel it, and more recently, sir, one of our own members, one of our beloved members, was face to face with a situation which even his normal sunny disposition was impacted, sir. So the point of the matter, what I'm getting to, sir, is that the government has the public behind it, and during this period should use the initiative while you have this level of public support to take the necessary steps.
During the debate, opposition Senator Caswell Franklin signaled his support for the abolition of the mandatory death sentence. He, however, took issue that the decision was a ruling from the Caribbean Court of Justice, insisting that Parliament is the body that makes laws.
That is something that this Parliament should have deliberated on, and if they don't want to, go referendum if they want from the people, but certainly not from the courts. Mind you, we got to a position that I liked, but I didn't like the road how we got there. The courts are legislating, and we have to be careful of that. That is all I want to say today in this debate. Yes, the outcome is my preferred outcome, but the road to get there is not the preferred road that I would like to take.
In sports, Barbadian Deandra Dottin will be making a return to international cricket at the ICC Women's T20 World Cup in Australia from February 21 to March 8th. Dottin was out for 8 months after corrective surgery and rehabilitation and is among 15 in the squad announced today by Cricket West Indies. Stephanie Taylor will continue to lead the unit. Here is the full squad.
There's regional and international news after this short break. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news, Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness and United States Secretary of State Michael Pompeo today denied suggestions of attempts to divide CARICOM as the two sides held talks. Last weekend, CARICOM Chairman and Prime Minister Mia Mottley raised questions about the intent of the meeting after she expressed concern that some regional member states were not invited.
We all must respect the sovereignty of countries to determine how they structure their foreign policy. When friends ask to be hosted or for us to host them, we're friends. And so we do that. We're friends with the United States. So we are happy to host here, not to the exclusion of anyone. And if anyone wanted to attend, they just had to signal. From my perspective, we would have done everything to ensure that they are present.
There's no intent from the United States to divide CARICOM. We know that countries in this region will agree with the United States on certain positions from time to time and disagree with us from time to time. That's true for Jamaica as well. It's true for many of the folks that I'll visit with this afternoon. We want to invite them all to be part of the economic prosperity security zone that is this region. We welcome the leadership that Jamaica has demonstrated in this region, in the CARICOM region.
On the international scene, Wuhan, a Chinese city of nearly 9 million people, is to temporarily shut down public transport as it tries to halt the outbreak of a new virus. Those living in the city have been advised not to leave in a week when millions of Chinese are traveling for the upcoming Lunar New Year holiday. More in this report from CNN.
Behind the police tape, this normally crowded market in the central China city of Wuhan sits eerily desolate. This is ground zero for the illness sparking global unease.
So this is where authorities believe the source of the coronavirus is. It's the wildlife and seafood market. And you can perhaps see over there, it's cordoned off. You've got police at all the corners.
It is so sensitive that within minutes of us arriving and recording, security asked us to stop filming. There is an uneasiness felt throughout Wuhan. We experienced that as soon as we boarded the train from Beijing. Each car nearly full, most faces covered, just about everyone traveling home for the Lunar New Year. Strict screening upon arrival. One by one, passengers step through a thermometer check to make sure they are not bringing a fever with them. Scenes like this playing out in transportation hubs across China.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.